Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And today, I got another live stream. It's been a long break for a long time. And please let me know if the microphone's right, because I'm using a lot smaller one than I usually use here. And this is a topic that comes up again and again, right? How to get my ex back. It's almost boring at this point for people to see this. What's up, Brian? How you doing? Different time frame, huh? So I'm in California right now, so the time is going to be different on the live streams for the next couple weeks. Clara Bell, see, Times Bell, welcome back to the States. Thanks. It's been very patriotic. So in California, for me, it's 10:30 a.m. How do I get my ex back the number one way? What do you guys think off the top of your head, Clara Bell, Brian, G Money? What do you think is the number one way to get your ex back? Because this is the number one question probably on these shows, right? 1:30 p.m. in NYC. Cool. No contact? Could be. Could be. Um, I would say my short answer rather than just no contact. What do you think it would be, G Money? G Money knows me well. It wouldn't be no contact necessarily. No contact, I guess, could be part of it. But what do you think it would be, maybe? Brian, what do you think? If I didn't say no contact, there is my ex came back after 1 year and scarcity. See, now some people, Clara, would go, oh my God, it took that long? Work on yourself, stop chasing them, working on yourself. My short answer would be it's close. It's close to Cherry Bomb. Welcome, Cherry Bomb. I don't think I've seen you before. Become someone they can't resist. Um, mine, the long apologize I got. How'd you feel about it, Clara? Did you feel vindicated? Did you feel validated? Did you feel good deep down? And the funny thing is, after a year, you're not expecting it. But I mean, after a year, someone could just check in and honestly just be checking in, like, hey, how have you been? And not be overly interested in getting back together. But there's also the idea that someone, messed around or went into singlehood and it didn't work out. And then they're after a year, they're coming back. No contact worth the first 2 weeks after the breakup, but we didn't get back together. What's the number one? When I say to get your ex back, I mean, I should clarify that getting your ex back doesn't mean hooking up one time or getting back together for a week. I should clarify that, or that you actually get back together for a year or 2 years. You're like official again. A lot of relationships now, sometimes breakups are regular. Yes, was shocked, wasn't expected. I was somewhere else. It was a bonus, right? And then you don't even know what to do with it, right? Claire, have you been seeing someone else or are you single? Yeah, I don't know how people get back together long term after being apart for months to years. Well, if they are going to get back together, it has to be a situation where both of them walk into it with no expectations. Basically, start over with good memories, if that makes sense. If you're going to make it work, you start over with good memories. You don't erase, but you forgive for whatever bad happened. And my number one way, as we have 7 on deck, no contact worked for me. He wondered what I was doing and reached out, but I ruined it by chasing him. Little bird, little bird. That reminds me of Dumb and Dumber. Remember Dumb and Dumber, the movie with Jim Carrey? Petey bird, little bird. But you'd have to address all the problems that led up to the split. Exactly. G Money's on point as usual. But doesn't feelings change at that point, like the love feeling, like the in love feeling? Well, that's the whole point, Brian, is you're starting over again. But you have a little bit of a taste of what it was before, right? It's like if you're going to get back together, it's not on the same. You're not picking up where you left off. You're saying, hey, we had something good. Let's revisit this and start a part 2. Does that make sense? You can't talk about the previous relationship. Start anew as if you're getting to know each. Yeah. And if there's wreckage and problems in the past, You don't want to be bringing that up when you guys first hang out or go out. And the worst one that guys always do, and I've just talked to someone in this in a breakup, live coaching. I'm a little slow today. I got a little bit of a cold from the plane, and I just did an hour and a half live coaching. But guys always want to know, did you hook up with anyone else? Who have you been with? And what they don't realize, and they'll say, I don't really care. Yeah, you do, because you're asking. But for women, depending on the woman, it could be a shameful thing for them to have to divulge. Yeah, I hooked up with this guy and it didn't work out. Yeah, I hooked up with a guy at work when I was drunk and I'm embarrassed about it. I didn't want to have to tell you, and you keep asking me. And you know that the guy's going to look at you differently. That's a big one that comes up. You hook up with your ex and then you start, interrogating about who they've been with. It's death to the future of the relationship. I think you could, as far as what Brian said, I think you could fall back in love with someone, but you don't re-enter a breakup if it was done right. That's if you were together 3-4 years. Here's all the things, like G Money makes a good point about what went on. One of the things is is if that past relationship didn't have a lot of breakups. Okay, so like in my history of relationships, which isn't numerous or very many, there's a few. I'm not one of those people that breaks up, throughout a 3-year, 5-year relationship. Like we broke up 6 times. No, once. Talked about breaking up once before. It's a big deal. And so if you go that route after 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 4 years, you jump off that ledge. You can't just get back together 2 weeks. 2 weeks later. It doesn't work that way. Smoke has to clear. Planes are the worst. I always catch something. Dude, I think you know what it is, G Money? It's the weather too. Where I'm at, and it's extremely windy. When I got off the plane in SFO, it was beautiful. My friend lives in Oakland, which has good weather. So he picked me up, and it was beautiful out. And then the next day it was windy. I'm just not used to it. Yeah. So maybe it was the plane, actually. I get starting over, and maybe you've grown, but you are the same people. It depends on how long you've been apart, really, right? It depends, Brian. It depends on how long you've been apart. If you've been apart a year or 2 years, usually you've changed. You've grown, hopefully. What if both rushed to be in a relationship without getting to know each other? That happens, EG. Good point. If that happens, and when you get to know each other and you don't like it, where's your power? Break up. My body is used to Southeast Asia. It's flip-flops and shorts most of the time. And the weather is between 80 and 90 degrees all year. So I get a little frigid. I get a little annoyed when I got to wear socks everywhere again. But yeah, having a runny nose and your lips are a little chapped. Excuse me. Right? So this time slot's a little bit different. I was getting into the 20s before. At 8 on deck. Any questions? Claire, did you want to ask a specific question you were saying about this new situation for you? Then when we get to, you just feel strange when they come back. So this has happened to you before because you said they. So you don't feel good about it, Claire? You're not happy? You're not excited? It's more just strange? The main question you got to ask yourself, do I want to revisit this? Do I want to, the ideal situation, if your ex hits you up back, is to go, I got the option to buy. I'm happy but cautious. Interesting. So are you going to meet up and go out? That would be the question. Dun, 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 dun. G Money. Stop trying. Stop trying. The first chapter of The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson is about stop trying, like in your life. Stop trying so hard. And what I come across so often is everyone's trying to will or try to get their ex back. And it's counterintuitive, really, because people, like, if you want to buy a Mercedes or you want to become a pilot, or you want to become, a millionaire, you got to try. Those are things like you got to try, you got to put in effort, you got to put in the work. So what happens with a lot of people, especially like successful, high-powered, focused people, is they're like, oh, let me put my mind to this. Like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to be strategic and shit. And I'm going to get my ex back, and I'm going to go online and figure out the ins and outs of this. And the reality is, accept the breakup and tell yourself, I'm not going to try to get this one back, because I'm moving forward. And I would say that's one of the number one things, is to stop trying. And people say they do that when they do no contact, but actually they're doing no contact trying to get their ex back. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Don't badmouth them to friends. That's a big one, dude. Actually, I don't know why. When I've been in breakups, I've done that naturally, where I didn't talk to their. It wasn't that I always had good terms with girlfriend's friends. I wasn't best friends with them, but they liked me. We were friendly, and so I was, like I said, I was always on good terms. But I never went to an ex's friends and tried to either badmouth them or get on their good side, or family members. I was neutral. That's where you should be. But stop trying. If you're in no contact trying to get your ex back, go into no contact because you're trying to move forward. That's a better way to word it. T-Max on deck, Mr. McGrady. What if they get in a rebound, marry the rebound, after 1 year of marriage, they realize she wasn't the one and they aren't happy, they hit you up? Well, cherry bomb, that's your decision to make in that moment. There's no right or wrong. The interesting thing about rebounds, everyone assumes rebounds don't work. Sometimes they do. Sometimes people meet someone. He asked me to go out with him Tuesday for a lunch date. So you going or you not going? The only way to win is to not play. Don't badmouth them to friends. Exactly. Move forward and better yourself. Just stop trying. Self-improvement can be a form of that. Well, if I just change and improve, then they'll come back. Not necessarily the case. You're still focused on them, not yourself. Yep. That's my point. It's really well done in the first chapter of The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which isn't about breakups. It's just about your life. And Charles Bukowski, who was a famous writer and poet, who was an ornery fucker, he talks about in his 50s or 60s starting to become a writer, and he just stopped trying to be a part of the race, the rat race, and a mailman, and just went all in on being a writer, and it worked out for him. I think it's okay to start out doing the research about no contact to get an ex back, and then evolve beyond that. The good point, T-Mac. I'll take that. I'll give you that. Yeah, I agree. Good point. Yes, it's actually not no contact if your only reason is to get them back. I mean, technically it still is, and being in it to get them back, I totally get it. I understand it. It's easy for me to sit here and go, yeah, stop trying. But there's something in the energy force of the world or the universe when you can completely give up and stop trying, that's a time when they might call you back. Now, here's what I always get. People go, oh, that's when they always come back. No, there's no always. There's no 2 + 2 is 4 in breakups, right? Well, if you do this, this, and this will work. It doesn't work that way. This is what's fucked up about the internet, is there's a lot of formulas out there. Do this, this, and this, and it'll work. My thing is like, tell me your story and I'll give you my take. I'll give you my honest, non-biased take, and I'll unpack it with you, but I'm not going to guarantee anything that they're going to come back. What I'll guarantee you is to give you some useful and helpful information and a live coaching or one of my videos to give you a response, but I'm not going to sit here and go, do this, this, and this. I'm going to unpack it and then go, let's go through this. Why are you framing it this way, or why are you doing this? And then you're going to have to make the choices at your own free will. I will treat our date like a first date. Well, you're calling it a date too. That makes me think, first dates. That'd be a good topic for a live stream, huh? How to be on a first date. I've never been nervous on a first date. I'm trying to think. Nope. I got back off Facebook, Mac. I found myself looking at her page because we have so many mutual friends. So I see her commenting often. I've done this for a month and a half before in August. Well, good for you, bud. Good for you, Brian. Get your fucking power back. I bet you sat there and you went, "Where's my power in this situation?" Did you ever read the book I recommended? The book you recommended was something scars, something scars, right? I forgot what it was, Claire. I remember. I didn't read it. By Bianca something. I have a really good memory and I can't remember. That's going to bug me. I don't think they had it on audiobook. The Strength in Our Scars by Bianca something. Was I right about the author's name at least? Like, at least got half. That was a long time ago too that you recommended that, because you haven't been on the live streams in a long time. Yeah, they didn't have it on Audible. I did look it up, and I prefer Audible. Claire, do you still hate your ex? I think, but how you said that, and I feel myself feeling the same way about mine. Best vibe. Let it be known that you can live with or without them. That's a good point, little bird. I never hate anyone. I got busy with my life and came to the conclusion he was never coming back. He'd been trying to get back since end of August. No. Do a topic. Do I have to lose myself to get them back? What do you mean by lose yourself? Can you elaborate on that? That can mean a lot of different things. What do you mean I have to lose myself? Change your identity? The Strength in Our Scars. Okay. I haven't read a non-audible book in a little while. I'm not against them. And actually, I'll go binge on audiobooks and Audible, and then I'll just go into mode for like a month. It's like when you eat at the same restaurant too often, and I got to take a break because I've just been listening to books too much, and I'm in that mode right now recently. The Strength in Our Scars. How long should you stay off until the urge to check her page subsides? That's up to you, Brian, but I think for something like social media, I'd set 30 days as a mark and then reassess in 30 days. Why not just go on a social media fast and see if it's good for you overall? Not as something for your ex, but just for you not wanting to do social media and see if you're more productive. VVS, what's up? Which is preferred to have a quality or quantity in the relationship? What do you mean by quality or quantity in the relationship? I would think quality or quantity and the amount of women you meet, but you read both by Mark Manson? Mark Manson, I believe, has 3 books: Models, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and what's up, Jack? How you doing, bud? You read both Mark Manson books. There's Models, which is about dating. Dating with Honesty. I think it's an older book. It's like 10 years. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and then Everything is Fucked. And yes, I've listened to all 3. I like The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck the best by far. But Everything is Fucked. Has some good chapters. I left social media entirely. It helped me with moving on and helping. There's going to be social media rehabs, folks. They're going to have wilderness camps and shit where people are going to be like, they're going to be like in the corners, like tapping their fingers and shit like crackheads looking for a phone, because people right now are flat out addicted. Think about that. It's crazy. And that's a world thing. I'm still on Instagram, which she's not on. I like IG for mostly fitness people. That's fine. I mean, that's fine. I'm not against you on social media, but I like take a break from it and don't make it about your ex. Make it about you just being off social media. I got a lot of friends that are pretty successful. They move up in their job. Like when I look at the ones that are like, I don't do Facebook anymore, a lot of them are doing really well. They're just like, it was too much of a distraction. Brian, if you really have the urge to spy on your ex, just simply block her and continue with your life. That's simply put, e.g. I ditched social media mainly because of the privacy concerns, but it really helps to heal not looking at an ex's social media. I'd love to have some kind of social media outlet that was smaller with no ads, that I could put you guys in little groups. I'm actually going to work with someone on creating something like that in the Silicon Valley, because I grew up in the Bay Area, so I have some contacts to just, it's not that difficult. I think groups should be, I think your group of friends or your groups on social media should be no more than 150. Dunbar's law. G Money knows that one. I mean, 150 is the human limit on how many people you can actually coexist with or know each other within a group. It's a known number. Dunbar's law. If you guys want to look that up, it's really interesting, actually. If there were a peer-to-peer one that eliminated the giant corporations and advertising model, yeah. T-Mac, if they had something like that, Dunbar's law is why communism doesn't work. Well, elaborate on that. What do you mean? Because I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, because I get you. I had to think about that for a minute. It's pretty interesting because they're saying like tribes and groups, you could only know 150 people at a time and coexist with them and really get on with them. Like if I have this live stream and I had a group of you guys and we had 150, we could know each other within that group. When you get past 150, 150 seems high, to be honest, right? But if you had a social media model where you could have smaller groups and no ads, and it was, I think they call it HEPA, which means that there's no cookies or none of them scaling for your information. So if you had none of that, would you pay a subscriber fee for something like that? Would be my question. Would you pay $5 a month to have no ads and the guarantee that they're not selling your information? Would people do that? That's an interesting question to ask. It kind of gets off the topic, but what's up, Patricia Early? Grew up hella early, as the great True Down said. Dunbar's laws. I'm a little slow today, G Money, if you didn't notice. I'm like, what does that mean? Duh. Brian, you shouldn't be caring what other people will think. You're doing it not for them. Yeah, T-Mac. If it's free, you're the product. So yeah, I pay subs more than I used to, like Protono Mail, for instance, rather than Gmail. Okay. Go off social media totally. Scarcity works. Right on, little bird. Little bird, little bird. Not much. How are you? I'm battling a little bit of a cold, but I'm all right. I'm on deck. I got up, and then the other thing is when you live on the other side of the world, the jet lag. I literally went to bed at 10, woke up at 2, wide awake. So I've been up since 2. I'll probably take a nap early afternoon. Warriors finally won, though. I got to watch the repeat of that. That was cool. I feel like I'm lagging here, though. I don't have the juice I usually do. The energy, the gusto. How do I get my ex back? The number one way, stop trying. Anyone else have something different? Oh, do you get a flu shot? No, I don't get a flu shot. Last year I got the flu really bad for the first time too. For the first time in a while. Sorry. I haven't been home during this time of year in a while, during the fall. It's a little bit cold. What's up, Tommy Willis? America's finest. You haven't deployed yet, huh, Tommy? You're still waiting on it, huh? Eric, at one point I wanted to reconnect also, so I never blocked her. There's probably a million ways to get someone back. The question is how to do it with your dignity still intact in a way that lasts. Yeah, get your ball sack back, right? G Money? Still waiting, huh? There's nothing worse than waiting on something, huh? There's probably a million ways to get someone back. The question is, how do you do it with dignity? That's so true, dude. So many people, too, when I'm like, you can get them back that way, but you're using pity. Do you want to get someone back with pity? Do you want them to feel sorry for you? Right? Women have more of a opportunity than men, I suppose, but there are people that stay with someone out of pity for sure. Like, that's absolutely true. Why would you want your ex back? Good question. Good question. That ties in with stop trying. There's a lot of people that want their ex back because they fucked up, or they feel like they fucked up, or they feel like they had a really good one and they got away. There's a lot of reasons. I think a lot of it stems from I'm just saying in situations in my past, you're chasing bits and pieces, if not the beginning of the relationship, and you're disregarding the problems and the end. After a trip to Niagara, Niagara Falls, my girlfriend ghosted me for a month. I mirrored her. A month later, we talked, told her I had her stuff ready to go back to her. Mac, I finally moved on. I feel great. Best week I've had in months. That's fucking outstanding, Tommy. Wow. You said it too, dude. I finally moved on. Good for you. Was there anything that, just out of curiosity, Tommy, because I know you've been struggling with this, is there anything that pushed you over the hump? A situation or something that came up where you're like, I'm done. I'm moving on. Part of me wants them back because of my emotional investment. It's like building a house and just walking away from it before it's finished. That's a good way to put it. Sometimes what I say, is that when you're in a breakup, it's like you have a fucked up house that you keep, repairing. The toilet's not working, the holes in the roof, and you keep fixing it and you keep fixing it. And then at some point you can either tear the fucking thing down and build a new one, or you can just leave the fucking place. But no one's gonna buy it. And she came back. Donkin Dave. I blocked her not to be mean. It's just that I'd rather forget about the past, live in the present, and have a future. Good for you. I was married 30 years, have a great relationship with him. Better that way. No bad feelings at all. Well, I've noticed that a lot of women, or I'm sorry, not women, but men and women that have been married for long periods of time, I'd say over 10 years, a lot of them, once they get a divorce, are like, I was fine with the divorce. We were done 2 or 3 years ago, or we were roommates for 6 years, or we were just together for the kids. A lot of them tell me that. And they don't have big issues with the breakup because it wasn't a surprise. And really, the breakups that are really the toughest on people are the ones that are surprised. They're shocking. I'm one of those who feels like I fucked up, but I also see that she has lots of issues too. As the dumper, it's unlikely she's working on any problems. Mr. Dean, it's hard though. Just very different people in the end. See, well, you were together 30 years because you probably changed who you were in those 30 years, and so did he. Berto D. Mac, my ex, eventually came back, gave me a gift saying how she wants to marry me, have my kids, missed her best friend. 2 days later, again, an extension. She said she thinks she's confused, so I dipped. Well, then dip. Man, that's, that's interesting when someone comes back so hot, heavy, and all in, or when someone you're dating, gets feelings quickly and goes 0 to 100, they probably can go, 100 to 0 just as fast. People that are hot and cold, they're more capable of being the opposite. Mac, might sound weird, but are there any ways to make yourself fall out of love with someone, or does it just take time for the feelings to go away? I think that lies in the individual because everyone has a different definition of love. You assume that everyone loves in the same way and defines love in the same way. So I think that's different. I think in my own case, the quickest way to fall out of love is to meet someone else, whether that's a rebound or not a rebound, whatever people want to scale it. Um, to have someone take that space. But regardless, it's going to take time. A lot of people, G Money, and I don't know this from my own experience, claim that they almost want to know that their ex is, especially guys, that their ex is with someone because then they'll be done. If they knew that their ex has a new boyfriend, then they know they'll be done. And so that's one way to fall out of love. If you understand, if you feel that they've gone with someone else, and I think women have told me before, they really look at, if you got a new girlfriend and the girlfriend's not as good looking as them, if they feel that way, or not as good a catch, then they really downgrade who you are moving forward. I've had women tell me that before, that they look at the new catch. I think she tried with someone else and it didn't work and she panicked. That's certainly possible. Buyer's regret, right? Oh, I love my old truck. I want that one back. It's going on 2 months for no contact, but I had to change my number. Should I give it to her or just wait until she tries to reach me? If you give her your number, it's a bit needy. Go, hey, it's been 2 months since we talked. I just wanted to give you my number. Um, if she really wants to reach you, it'll add to the mystery and challenge that she doesn't have your number. But if you reach out, in my opinion, if you reach out and you're like, "Hey, it's been 2 months. I just want if you wanted to call me, here's my number." It could work, but I don't. The flip side of that is you lose a little bit of dignity, and if it doesn't work, you feel like, "Oh, that was embarrassing. I just threw 60 days down the drain." Do you think it's generally weak? What's up, Kyle? How you been, bud? Do you think it's generally weak for the dumpy to ask to meet after 5 months or so? I get if you're scared of the response, but the idea of it should be then them to initiate is also popular. If you're gonna meet after 5 months, you have to go into it with a neutral, calm, no expectation. This is my first date. Let's just see how it goes. If you fucking if you go into it like, yeah, I'm gonna get her back, I'm gonna romance your fucking Ronnie romance, and you're gonna go over there with like these high aspirations. No, then don't do it. If you're gonna go in there nervous and awkward, no, then don't do it. If you can go in there with some confidence, some gusto, some juice, you feel good about yourself. You maybe hooked up with a few women in the last 5 months, so you're not going there with a full tank. Well, then yeah, you can. I had an internal conversation with myself. It was time to accept the breakup and move on. I can't really explain it. I just feel free finally. I wish you all could know this feeling. Well, that's outstanding, Tommy. I think I've told you after our live coaching too. I'm not taking credit, but your self-talk really counts, bro. You really got to redirect your self-talk. And Tommy, being military, um, I don't know what book it was, but they were saying they were talking to Navy SEALs, and they were talking. I think only 10% of the class passes into being a Navy SEAL. I could have that wrong. You guys can correct me. And I don't know which book it was. Maybe it was Goggins or one of these ones. I'm not sure. Um, and they said they talked to the guys that passed, that were top of their class. And one thing that stood out is all of them said when they were ready to quit, they had this internal voice in their head like, fuck no, I'm not quitting. I'm not going to do it. There's no way I'm fucking quitting. And so their internal dialogue kept them going. And so internal dialogue's big, and you can reframe it. You could be the stronger voice in your head, right? Some people just think, oh, you keep telling yourself some shitty story. Fucking redirect that fucker. Set him straight. Reaper and then disappear. Go back to the better yourself and ask yourself if this is someone you want to be with. It just takes time. True. So you have to suggest to meet once they reach out, or do you have to let things flow and wait till she's completely comfortable with going out? You don't have to do anything. Don't look for the right or wrong or the certainty. Look for you to be in a really good place and make a decision, and then live with the decision, whatever happens. I think about checking my ex's social media just so I can see her with someone else, so I can put the nail in the coffin. That's what I've heard from a lot of people, G Money, especially guys. They're like, if I know she's with someone else, I'm done. I don't know if that would work for everyone because it would linger. Um, but I would say for myself, yeah, it would be the nail in the coffin. And if I'm in that situation again in my life, well, that's a long turnaround from what I've read. Most fall into the first 6 months up to a year. There's no stats on this, T Mac. When you read these things, people, I think Love Chat just came out and he's like, well, from my research and my science and me knowing these people, usually based on, my notes, no one usually comes back after 8 months. It's like, where'd you get 8 months from? Is there a spreadsheet on this? And then if you have a spreadsheet, that's just your sample of what, is that what subculture of the world is that? So, I mean, it could be anything. G Money, I'm having the same problem. I play golf, get over I play golf to get over my exes. Wow, there'd be a lot of people playing golf if that worked for some people. Good for you. I think being gun shy is the case with the guy I haven't met yet. I don't know what you mean by that, Patricia. I feel free not only when it comes down to dating others, but I feel better when it comes to my life in general. There isn't a dark cloud hanging over my head. Fucking outstanding, Mr. Willis. Thanks for sharing that, bud. I'm happy for you, bud. You've grown a lot from this. Not just relationship wise, just learning some things about yourself. You did it the right way, and you were like during the live stream, you're really honest too. I've searched and searched to see if my ex was in a relationship. I came up with nothing. And see that's what I call an open loop. It's like you can't find the end of the movie. Seriously, get out and do something physical. That's what when I had my bad breakup, years back, going for a run with an iPod. I don't even think people have iPods anymore. Was huge, huge. Because the thing about when you go for a run or a walk, you have to be in the present moment. If you're not in the present moment, you might get hit by a car. You might have a dog bite you. And so you're running through the mind of the stuff that's going on, but you also have no choice but to think about other things. Hopefully you get some sun. Lastly, just want to say thanks, Coach Mac. Our session definitely helped get me on the final stages of grief and letting go. Well, I appreciate that, bud. It was a pleasure. It was a really good session, and I get something out of those things too. The fact that it helped you out, and we unpacked more things than just the breakup. And for you to get some clarity, I really liked when you sent me the email and you said I got perspective. I didn't cure you. I didn't do this. You got some perspective on the situation that was different. And if you have a coaching session, you have one or two aha moments where you go, oh shit. Last night I had a 2-hour session and some dude was like, wow, I totally didn't look at it that way. The way you just described it, I was looking at it in this dark, negative way. And the way I reframed it, I'm like, I'm not telling you to look at it about that way, but what do you think? And he's like, no, that can be completely true. Mr. Dean, hard to be depressed when you're exhausted. What's up, Scotty Fitzgerald? Once you get to a place when you don't care if she's dating someone else, you'll feel a lot better. Hell yeah. I was already pretty good about exercise. I'm picking up 3 or 4 hour shifts a week of food delivery, mindless work, and I can listen to YouTube and audiobooks and make some travel money. Good for you, T-Mac. I like it, bud. That's why I got back off Facebook. T-Mac, where do you want to go in the world? What's your travel list, bud? Just out of curiosity, share. How many of you have been ghosted for no good reason that you know of? Zero. I don't think I never felt like I was ghosted. If anything, in my breakups, I'm the one that I knew to move on when I wanted to move on. I had one breakup where we stayed in contact once every couple months or 3 months, but we both had partners. I had a girlfriend and she had a boyfriend, but we'd talk once every couple months and check in because we were still cool. But currently doing no contact to her, does that mean I'm ghosting her too? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what your term. I know the term ghosting means disappear. I suppose it can overlap with no contact, but don't overthink it. I'm not sure what the official term for ghosting is. Magnet of Success had a good article that said that the extreme pain of a breakup actually rewires your brain as you go over and over your mistakes. I notice I barely have any negative self-talk now. Well, good for you. I don't know if that's true for everyone, but I'm very into neuroscience and articles on that. It's one of my favorite things to read about. If you like The Brain That Changed Itself by, is it Brian Dewage? Great book, The Brain That Changes Itself. Also practicing emotional self-control, anger management, and gaining patience. Well, aren't you a fucking all-star, T-Mac? That's outstanding, bud. What is the picture of you, T-Mac? Is that a monk? I keep looking at it. You look like a Jesuit or something. Have you ever seen the movie The Mission with Jeremy Irons and Robert De Niro? T-Mac, way to go, bro. You do you. Love chat is a nerd. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, what's going on, guys? Okay. I suggest watching the video. Let Them Walk by TD Jakes. It definitely helps. Okay. Thanks for that, Tommy. Godfred. How do you say what's on your mind to a female without coming off as a dick? How do you say what's on your mind to a female without coming off as a dickhead? Basically, you're saying that you think what you say is always going to be a dickhead or a jerk. Does anyone else have that problem? I'm nervous to meet the new guy. How do I handle that, coach? I don't know. I don't know, Patricia. I'm a little bit fuzzy on your situation. I'm a little bit fuzzy right now, actually. Been awake since 2 a.m. and I'm in slow motion, I feel like. It's not dark. It's actually light out, right? It's just the room. I don't have any lights in here. So it's my mom's crafts room or whatever you want. Spare room with the arts and crafts, right? Visiting the folks right now, Scotty. Magnet of Success has a small study, but it was only just over 100 dumpers and 90% reached out eventually. So yeah, not exactly a huge study. Yeah, I mean, okay, thanks for backing that up with some stats and giving me some numbers that basically tell me what it is. The dump 100 dumpers and 90% reached out eventually. Well, reaching out eventually could mean 1,000 different things. There's people that actually reach out just to say, how are you doing? Well, what does this mean? They said, how am I doing? They're seeing someone else, but they really want to know just how you're doing. It happens. It's not always that they want to get back with you. I know because I've done it. I got ghosted. We were talking about getting back together during the first month of the breakup. I kept pressuring her, asking her, was there someone else, until she just stopped responding. That's the worst place to be in, is asking if there was someone else. TG Jakes is my dude. Great motivational stuff. All right. G-Money's double stamping it. Union sounds like she was on the fence and needed some space and lack of pressure. Good take, T-Mac. TD Jakes is legit, G-Money. I'll have to check that out, Tommy. Thanks for the heads up. I've been good, Mac. Hit 5 weeks no contact, and it's suddenly getting tough again. While be booking another session soon, as my mind's doing flips. Well, I look forward to it, dude. We had fun in that chat. You got a good sense of humor, Kyle. 3 to 5 weeks is hard. I know when I was in it eons ago, that period, especially if you had a long relationship, Kyle. So the first 2 months overall are hard in its moments. As repetitive as it sounds, keep exercising hard and change your routine. There's only so much looking at an ex's social media you should do. Don't make a habit out of it. Make past feelings be your present. Right on, Berto. Just don't make it available. You know, if you're on a diet, you don't want cookies and ice cream in the fridge, dude. I don't know. It was weird. She left her clothes and everything at my place until I just had her mom come get it. She didn't put up a fight and gave me my key back. It was weird. I don't know if it was weird. I think that she was just saying she didn't want to see you again during that time because she knew you wanted to get back together and she didn't. I don't look at all. Even seeing them happy can make you depressed. We had a good breakup. She told me that she didn't have the feeling for the moment. Andreas Anderson, double A. Is that a Cardinals? Is that a Cardinals logo? We had a good breakup. She told me that she didn't have the feeling for the moment. Together for 5 years. I told her, give me a call if you change your mind. No contact for 4 weeks now. What's the odds, Mac? I don't know, bro. I would need to know your story, Andreas. Send your story into writemac.com. I can give you a tailored take. I mean, I'd be pissing in the wind if I told you, you know, your odds are 20%. I mean, I need to know what happened. Argentina's on my list, T-Mac. I actually have a client from there that lives in Vegas, and he's always like, you want to come out to Vegas? And I'm like, fuck no, I'd rather go to Argentina, dude. Japan, I always hear good things about. Japan's got monkeys in the snow up there. Snowboarding and some checking out Buenos Aires. Sounds good. I just had a client from a woman that was in Buenos Aires. She said it's she said actually it's not that expensive too. I mean, doing live coaching, isn't that random? You meet some people from all over. Majority are from the States, but we'll just leave her alone. You may well hear from her. Sounds like she needs some time and space. Best to work on you. Crichton from Weddorf. I wasn't. Oh, that's who you are in that picture. I don't know who that is. I wasn't in a horrific accent. Rory's voice is so deep. I don't feel like a rock. Do you think that's his real voice, or do you think it's doctored up? I don't know. I'm just asking. Do you think there's a thing you put on your mic to do that? I don't feel like a rock star. Just the extreme pain of being dumped made me do a lot of navel gazing. The fuck is navel gazing? I've never heard of that one before. Mac, what's up, Jesse? Bro, there's so many people that are doing jujitsu and Muay Thai these days, man. I gotta get your if you ever because Jesse, you wanna be a trainer for jujitsu if I'm correct. I'm going 10 minutes, then I'm going to jujitsu, packing my room up as we speak. Right on, Jesse. Good for you, bro. Jiu-jitsu, man, I want to do that so bad. Looks fun. G Money, you do karate, right? No, you do taekwondo. Go do it, San Diego. Fabio Santos Academy, Mission Bay. I don't know if I would do jiu-jitsu. I'm not sure. We have a lot of Muay Thai places around my house, and a lot of friends go and do it. And I don't have a big thirst for it. It's really good training, though. Maybe I should just do it to get out of a comfort zone. I think it's been way too long not meeting up yet with that guy. 5 months. Patricia, have you sent me your story before? Wow, you gave the address. Mission Gorge, Mission Bay. Right on, Jesse. You like that place. At 3 months, no contact starting except I may never hear from her again. And the best place to be is to go, I'm just done caring if I hear from her again. I'm moving forward. Jesse, unfortunately, I'm in Cincinnati, but if I'm in that area, I'll check it out, brother. Cincinnati. Home of Slim Jesus. Have you ever seen Slim Jesus, G Money? I think he's from Cincinnati. Have you ever seen that guy on YouTube? He's a rapper. You'll get a kick out of that one, G Money. You can look that up right now. Andrea's my advice, as it's highly probable she does reach out at some point. So I definitely look into how to deal with that so you're prepared, but also don't rely on it or focus on you. How's the mic? Because I'm using a weaker mic. Does it make a difference for you guys today? Am I talking lower? Roy may lay it on thick. Roy probably has a face for radio, if you know what I mean. It's a great. He does a really good job packaging the show to sound like like a radio show. But people always ask. The few times I've been on there for like a live stream, I just popped in. People are always asking, "What do you look like? Can we see your picture?" Which draws interest. Good for him. Story I've shared. Married 10 years, 2 kids. I have custody. 6 months post breakup, divorce finalized in January. I have a new partner, soon to be ex-wife, and I am now friends. Shit always works out. Good for you, Seth. Dropped gloves. I like the way you put that, dude. You're on deck today. Sorry about the Raiders loss, bud. That was a tough one. Story I've never shared. Married 10 years, 2 kids. I have custody. 6 months post breakup, divorce finalized in January, have a new partner, soon to be ex-wife, and I now friends. Shit always works out. Well, it always works out if you look at it that way. Good for you, bud. And you're still coming to my live streams, right? That's cool, man. Eventually, yeah, it takes time though you can teach them from blue belt onwards. He just asked me to meet up in LA where he lives 1 hour from me. Should I drive there and meet halfway? Patricia, what do you want, hon? What do you want? Do what you want to do. I feel love that you remembered that, Mac. What did I remember? The Cincinnati or what? Which one? Oh, the Taekwondo. He just asked me. I have a good memory for people I care about. On the coaching sessions, I have like a photographic memory. Not photographic, informative memory. I don't know what you call it. Fucking Rain Man. Yeah, definitely 170. He just asked me to meet up in LA where he lives. Patricia, short answer, go for it. Try it. You never know. Stay strong, everyone. If you don't get your ex back, you really will meet someone that's a better fit for you. I like that. And if you can be friends with your ex, it's really worth exploring if you have moved on. Well, good for you, Seth Drop Gloves. Who knew a man with the nickname Seth Drop Gloves is peaceful? Most fights end up on the ground, so it's smart to know how to grapple. Yes, long neck white boy. He's a meme over here. Oh my God. I actually, when I was in California, because one of those songs, I'd heard it before that Slim Jesus dude sings. And I'm like, where's that song? Where did I hear that from? I'm like at a stop sign. My parents live in like a country area, lots of trailers. And I was at the stop. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's bumping Slim Jesus. Oh my God. Thanks for the audio's fine. Because this is just a cheap mic, actually. Good to know. Shit, Matt got my date Friday. Haha. Good for you, Jesse. Jesse's a character. When I get this podcast live stream, when I can start getting guests, I'm gonna get Jesse on. Hey Mac, what's your thoughts on being friends with a girl you want more, but she's saying she's not ready? She's still on good terms with her ex. We text every day. Should I go another route? Uh, Short answer, Brian, you're putting energy into something that might be a dead end. So why not put energy into something uh, that has more opportunity? So if you're putting in work and you're putting in time on that, then you're taking away time and effort from something that's more available. If that girl's interested in you, there's another one out there that's more available. And if she's ever going to sway your way and make a decision, you probably have to pull back. It's not guaranteed, but if you basically, this is a good way to put it. When you're playing the friends card and you like them, however you play the friends card, but you know you're playing the friends card, you're not playing to win. You're playing not to lose, and that's a weak place to come from. Should I drive? If you're gonna play the friends card, but you have other plates you're spinning, or talk to other women, that's fine. But you be honest with yourself. Some people go, "Oh no, I just really do think of them as friends." And I was telling this guy yesterday that we're in a live coaching. I go, "You just keep switching lanes, and you're fucking yourself up because you're like, yeah, we're just friends,' and then you're like, yeah, but I do want to get with her,' and then your brain just keeps going back and forth. What is it?" Like myself, I could be okay with being friends with benefits or being casual, right? Because I've never been someone to start out something where I'm like, yeah, I want to make this my girlfriend the first date or when we go out. So, but some people are like, they want to put it out there immediately, like, hey, no, I'm looking for something long term. Should I drive to LA or suggest to meet halfway? I think he's lazy driving to my town. What do you want, Patricia? Do you want to meet halfway? Then meet halfway. Don't do what you don't want to do. Mayo, how are you? The French Canadian. You're a Raptors fan, right? They're not doing as well this year, I don't think. I want to meet about halfway. Then meet halfway. Then go, hey, I'll meet you halfway. Stop playing games. Tell them what you want because you're setting expectations now. If you go, okay, here's the thing. Patricia, let me break this down really quick. If you go, okay, I'll go to LA, then on the car ride, you're just going to be building this tension. Oh, I can't believe I have to drive all the way to LA. I didn't want to do this anyway. I can't believe he didn't say to meet halfway. Speak up. Tell him right now, no, I want to meet halfway. LA is too far from me. I don't feel like driving that hard. Done. He'll respect you for it. And then you won't meet him with angst and contempt. I want to meet about halfway. Do it. Like you talking with your ex or someone new. Okay, coach, thanks for the advice. No problem. Brian, that sounds like a hard Next to the next plate, man. You're better than waiting. Brian, have you read that book, The Rational Male? I think you should check that out. That's what he's talking about. The hell I'd be friends with my ex. Can't be friends with someone I wanted. Hump. Hump. I remember that word when I was like a little kid. Andress Anderson was a little needy at the end. I felt it coming, so I was ready. I've already read the book Psycho-Cybernetics, Maxwell Maltz. That's a good book. I felt like I knew human after reading Unlimited Power Now. I definitely going to your site. Yeah, Andress. Go ahead and send your story in or book a live coaching if you like. T-Max, hell no. I'm not going on a date with my ex, LOL. New person. I told her I wasn't ready either, but I'd like to have sex or something. LOL. A little passive aggressive. I mean, we've been on a few dates. I think she's friend zoned me already. Well, I mean, as long as you don't go, yeah, it's okay to be friends. If that question comes up, it's like, let's just not talk about that and have a good time. Reframe it. Felipe Solis, yo. Read the subtle art. Read the subtle art. Definitely. Dating myself. I've been going around and around. I'm tired of it, so I do whatever now. The point, so probably driving to LA. Yeah, that's another issue. Not clear what the guy is looking for. What are you looking for, Patricia? You're getting caught up a lot in what someone else wants. Get clear on what you want and then pursue it. You shouldn't have to ask someone if they like you. Don't you think? Hey, do you like... There was someone in a live coaching months ago, and this dude's like a really cool dude, and he was like, but he keeps getting the nice guy syndrome. And he is really nice and really soft with women. And the guy's military, I believe. Anyways, she was like, do you like me? Like the woman said something like, do you like me, after they like kissed or hooked up? And then he's like, and then I told her, do you like me? I'm like, you said that? Should be effortless. Good way to put it. That's true, Mac. I have one-itis for basically every girl my age that works in a coffee shop. That's funny. Coffee shops do something for you. If someone is okay with never seeing you again, you shouldn't give them any value in your life. Definitely easier said than done, at least for me. I agree. Thank you. By the way, you're on vacation from Thailand? Yeah, it's like a backwards vacation. I come back to California to visit my parents. Had some time off. Stephen Daniels. I don't know if I've seen you on before, Stephen Daniels, but thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Up to an hour. Rob's not on deck. He doesn't have the time today. Any questions, folks? I'm a little bit parched, so I don't have any tea left. Oh, actually, I do. Any closing questions? This has been good. I'm going to do my best to come on tomorrow about the same time. If I don't message this girl, she will hit me up and never talks about meeting up. Get some other hats in the ring, Brian. No, he likes me, but not sure if he wants just sex, coach. Well, that's an interesting question. If you say someone likes you, but I'm not sure if they just want to sleep with me. Well, you'll never know until you spend a little bit of time with them, right? You're not going to ask that person that outright. I guess you could. What's everyone's favorite quote besides "Where's your power"? Of course. What, a quote from me? I don't know. People like on deck. Actually, sometimes when I've been on live coaching sessions and I start to say something, someone's like, yeah, I know what you're going to say. 0 to 100 or one of these things. I got a few, but she's Asian, so I've been really pursuing. You put some context on it, Brian. I love it. I love it. I love it. You made it a little special right there. That's so funny. I'm going to head off now, Mac. We'll catch up with you tomorrow evening, Jesse. All right, Jesse, right on, bud. Brian Union, have you seen The Wedding Crashers? You know, the old movie with Vince. I love Vince Vaughn, dude. There's a scene in the movie. He's like, she was an Asian. It was my first Asian or something like that. It was hilarious. Even though he said if that's just about sex, he could get that anytime. I think you're overthinking it, Patricia. Go out, have a good time, and if you're not up, if you feel like that's what he's all about, then where's your power? Kill the date and move on, move forward. I was just dropping in quick. Had a good fall season this far. Hope you are doing well. Thanks, Mel. I appreciate it, bud. Thanks for reaching out. Pain is temporary. It may last for an hour or a day or even a year, but eventually it will subside. If I quit, however, it will last forever. Ooh, that's deep. Who said that? Corey Wayne. Come on, man. Come on, man. I had a college roommate. One of my buddies used to go, man, 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 man. My old friend introduced me to her big sister, as in older. We went on a few dates, but nothing happened for 2 months. We never spoke, deleted her number, and for 2 years, just last week, she called me on FaceTime. Interesting story. Brian, yep. There's an E40 song called Yep. I don't know if you know E40. Does she have feelings for me? My old friend introduced me to her big sister. We went on a few dates, but nothing happened. For 2 months, we never spoke, deleted her number, and hadn't spoke for 2 years. Just last week, she called me. Steven, I don't know if she has feelings for you or what, but I mean, you can explore it. It's been 2 years. It was casual in the beginning. It doesn't sound like it's too serious. So if you want to explore it and see what happens, but if you're looking for certainty, you're not going to get it. You got to go out with her. Eric Thomas, I think, but maybe Les Brown, like Jesse said. Oh, Eric Thomas. Is he an ex-football player? Les Brown's a cool dude. Take it easy. Jesse, good that you stopped in. This next couple of weeks, I'll be on around these times, so if this is a good time for you, I think it's better than the usual times I have. Pain is temporary. It may last for an hour, a day, even a year, but eventually it will subside. If I quit, however, it will last forever. Is that how it went too? Eric Thomas would come a little stronger. Les would be more like a reverend, huh? You know, who's the dude? Barry White. What if Barry White was a motivational speaker? Keep telling me this, telling me that. Any closing questions? We just came to a lull here. Got 23 on deck. Thanks for the likes, folks. I appreciate it. This hour went by really quick. Got 2 live coachings today, too. No, that's it. That's all we got today. Is it curtains? Problem is, he wants to meet at a hotel because I'm coming from no longer distance. So should I say meet somewhere else, coach? Well, where there's smoke, there's fire, Patricia. I'd rather get motivation from Chef. Make love to you women. Get down by the fire. Get some American food, Mac. My mom made beef stew and biscuits last night. Mark Priest, love your channel. Mark Priest, thanks, bud. My ex dumped me in July out of nowhere. I went no contact 3 weeks later. Then she texted me 3 weeks ago indirectly. I text back and haven't heard since. Well, if you want my take, send it into w.com. Send it in there if you want to give me your first full story, Marky Mark. Asked her why she called, and she cut the call. She'd been messaging me, and I asked her when is she free so we can go meet, but since then not replied to me. Well, it seems like you're asking the questions and you're in her frame. Can I call my ex-parents for pick up my passport, or is that a bad idea? If your ex's parents have your passport, that's an important item. I would make an appointment to go get that, dude. So if you're not using it as a covert way to gain points with your ex, then just go get it or ask him to drop it off to you. It's your fucking passport. It's needed. Yeah, Brian writes, it's your passport. Make it about your passport, though. Don't make it about like, hey, can we talk about, what's going on with so and so, don't do that. Just go, hey, I need to get my passport. You don't want to sleep on that, dude. Brian's like, it's your passport. Don't need at the moment. I would get it because if you do need it, you don't want to make it more awkward. And Canada is seriously bad losing a passport. The government frowns on that. It's bad losing your passport anywhere, man. I don't think many Americans have. I think like half of America doesn't even have a passport. You mentioned going somewhere abroad, and they're like, "What? I'm going to probably miss the next stream. This was good." Right on, Brian. Well, you're always welcome, bud. You've been a regular for a while now, man. I think you first came over with masculine energy too. I think when he came over on a stream, you rolled with him. Or Kyle. I prefer to just say Kyle because that's his name. G Money, what's your favorite American food? You're gonna laugh when I say what mine is. My favorite American food. Actually, I should say California food. Oh, you like your food? The funny thing is, where I live, I get all that food there. They have Western food, so it's not like I come here and I'm like, oh my god. The one thing you don't get, uh, the one thing you don't get in Thailand, you can get pizza, hamburgers. You can even get Mexican food. Is deli sandwiches, like a good deli sandwich, like a really good deli sandwich. They don't have those over there. I've been to like one or two shops. I'm not talking about fucking Subway either. What's an awesome name? G Money? Hard to beat, just like steak and mashed. My mom makes mashed potatoes all the time. I grew up on mashed potatoes. Yeah, it's just we don't eat as much bread, but there's a lot more bakeries recently. There's a lot of French people moving to Thailand. Um, yeah, my favorite food though is tacos. Give me a taco truck. Maybe you don't think that's American because it's Mexican food, but to me, it's California. I love street tacos. Oh my god. I guess if he doesn't want to meet somewhere else, there's my answer, right? I bet California has fire. Fuck yeah, dude. We got taco stands everywhere. I work as an engineer at a place that makes bread. I can't stand bread now. It's not good for you. I don't eat deli but that used to be one of my favorite things. Is a good deli sandwich. Makes you tired though if you have a big one. Big sourdough. Patricia, just go out. I mean, yeah, if he's meeting you at a hotel, that seems like it, but I don't know the guy well enough. I don't know some great Mexican restaurants in California. Absolutely, for sure. For sure. Depends if they're wearing a giant flamingo costume. Pretty sure they wouldn't notice the watch then. Steven, I have a nice watch and I'm single, so. What did I miss? California has nice living. San Diego, Southern California, the women are nice. I'm not saying everywhere else is bad, but the first thing Rob says that first thing girls notice about a guy is the watch they wear. Is that true, Patricia? I think you're the only one talking right now that's a woman. Really? I don't know. Have to ask, 1,000 women. Have you been there, T Mac? I've heard good things about Colombia. I haven't been there. I had a friend that went there for 2 weeks and came back with a wife, dude. No joke. Really? Yeah, I've heard good things. Yeah, I'd like to go to Colombia. That would be on my list. Definitely. The climate's nice, huh? Okay. I guess it got really popular after Narcos, too, huh? Supposedly there's a lot of Airbnb there. A lot of Airbnbs, like in penthouses and stuff like that. I've heard really good things about it. A lot of people that are coming to Phuket or Thailand, they're like, "Oh, we're going to Colombia next." My ex has a Colombian friend that is gorgeous. I can say it now. Stephen Daniels, thank you, Mac. Thank you for what? Yeah, you wouldn't tell your girlfriend that her friend's hot or pretty. I can tell I could tell a girlfriend that she's good. She looks good. She's a good looking. Like, you don't want to sit there and drool, but he says he doesn't just want sex, but said he's a man, so he's interested in that too. Patricia, use your own good judgment, hon. You're overthinking this. Oh, it's been a while, Seahawks. Hey, I have a quick question. I texted my ex about 10 days ago. I was drunk. I know this is immature, and he just responded today. I don't know if I should respond or not. Well, if I remember correctly, your ex wasn't a very good dude. You had some really bad things to say about him. So why are you revisiting the relationship? I'm talking about drool. Oh, shit. You're on deck today, Union. I stayed in the pen. Yeah, I heard the penthouses. Yep. 8 bedrooms, 2 floors, 12 balconies. Owners paid 500 US. Wow. 12 balconies. That's ridiculous. How much was it for a night? Yes, man. Here have wear. Yes, men here wear great watches. Okay. I got an old ass watch on right now. A Swatch. 60 a night. Fuck, dude, for the whole place? Damn. 60 US, that's 2,000 baht. You can get a pretty nice place for 2,000 baht. Oh, a room. Okay. Okay. Got it. And then you got someone hosting place. Okay, it's almost like okay. Okay, T Mac. It's discipline. If you know you shouldn't do it, don't do it. Respect yourself enough to do the things you disagree with. Absolutely. 69 is cheap. Bunch of Americans, not me. You're Canadian. My ex was with me. Okay. That must have been interesting. That must have been interesting. All right, folks. I got to get some lunch. I got to check my old ass watch. Avoid drinking. What's up, Ozzy? How you doing, bud? Max is beautiful. I didn't need that. Good for you, T Mac. Right on, buddy. Thanks for the likes, folks. Now that I said tacos, I'd really like some tacos, actually. I might go down to the taco truck. Back in the States briefly. Yeah, I'm in California, Ozzy. That's why I'm in this arts and crafts room. All right. Scotty Fitzgerald, you got a question? Take it easy, G Money. Thanks for being a part of this, bud. Funny how the stream picks up when you're about to exit. I know. You were funny today, dude. I know, but she's Asian. That guy is hard to talk to. Sees things his way, I guess. But I just say what I wanted to do and see. Mac, in your opinion, where's the best place to meet singles? I think it's different for everyone. I think that the book Models by Mark Manson, one of the best chapters is he talks about demographics. And so if you're going to meet women that line up with you, think about the hobbies and the interests and the places that you're interested in. Most of the time, that's why people meet people at work or university, because you have a common interest, a common goal, similar schedules, things line up. And so when you just try to meet someone at a club or something, that's not your thing. But for example, if you're into wine, go to wine festivals. If you're into yoga, go to different yoga schools or yoga retreats. If you're into travel alone and go to the hostels. So think about the places you like to go where you'd meet someone that would have some common ground with you rather than just meeting randoms. I mean, in my time, most of the time I've met women through work, school, or the gym. And I'm not like a gym rat, but I've met I shouldn't say the gym. I've met one that was a girlfriend that I met at the gym, and I wouldn't say we met. The gym was above like a major hotel, and she worked down below at the hotel, so I used to always see her there. But just waiting for Dylan to swoop in at the end. Yeah, huh? I got that itchy, like my. Yeah, I got to save myself for a little later on because two back-to-back coachings I've been putting off because I was on the road. Um, Anyone else have an opinion for Scotty Fitzgerald closing out? A good place to meet singles? What am I thinking that's underrated? Um, it depends on what your target is. You gotta be familiar. Cooking class, yeah. I mean, I haven't done that because I don't really like cooking, but yeah, that would be one. Volunteer work would be another one. Doing something volunteer, like if you're a really giving and kind person, that would be a place to find giving and kind women, right? All right, folks, it's curtains. I gotta go. Light.